Hi, this is Shinohara. Today, we are here at a rental apartment in Nerima Ward, Tokyo. A new IMECHEN renovation has just been completed, so I'd like to introduce the room to you. This renovation was carried out by IMECHEN Nerima branch. So I'll be interviewing Mr. Noguchi about what kind of work was done. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you.
To start, could you briefly tell us an overview of this property?
Sure, this property is located here in Nerima Ward. It is a 43-year-old, 3-story steel frame rental apartment building. The unit itself has a total floor area of 99 square meters. It spans the second and third floors, and the original layout was a 4DK. We renovated it and changed the layout into a 3LDK.
I see. It is a maisonette-style unit, and when the building was first constructed, this was actually the owner's personal residence.
Yes.
And the property has since changed owners. So, could you tell us about the current owner who requested this renovation?
Sure. The owner currently lives very close by. In the past, the owner's grandchild had experience renovating this unit once through a different company. However, even after that renovation, it didn't quite turn out to feel modern or up to date. After that, the previous tenant moved out, and the owner searched online, and initially contacted IMECHEN through our concierge service.
So this was a project where our concierge, Takita, handled the initial consultation.
Exactly.
Just to confirm, the earlier renovation was done on this same unit?
Yes, it was. That renovation was done about 15 years ago.
So it was quite some time ago. So, this project was about renovating a unit that had already been partially updated and bringing it in line with today's standards.
That's right.
So, could you walk us through what kind of renovation work was done here?
Of course.
So this is a maisonette-style unit with an upper and lower level, and we're currently on the lower floor. This area has the kitchen, so I assume this is the living space. What kind of work was done here?
Originally, this space had a 1DK layout. Before this renovation, the floor was already finished with flooring. But there was a former Japanese-style room about 6 tatami mats in size. You can still see a beam on the right side here, and there's also a corner on this side. Originally, this area was separated from the dining space. There was also a built-in custom dish cabinet attached to this pillar over here like this.
I see.
So the dining area ended up having a kind of U-shaped layout.
Got it. So you removed what used to be a wall and turned this into one large living space?
Yes, that's right.
Was the kitchen originally located here as well?
Yes. Originally, it was a basic block-style kitchen. At that time, there was no sidewall here, and the kitchen extended all the way to the end of this wall.
That's quite long.
Yes, it was a long kitchen. The gas stove was located around here. And next to the dish cabinet was the space for the refrigerator.
I see.
This time, we reduced the kitchen length to 2,550 millimeters and created a dedicated refrigerator space on the right.
Even at 2550, that's still fairly large.
Yes. At 255 meters, it's still a wide kitchen. And for a rental property, it's more than sufficient.
That's right. If the refrigerator had stayed in the original spot, it would have limited the size of the fridge you could use.
Exactly. Plus, since this area used to be occupied by a dish cabinet, the space felt more like a narrow corridor and was quite cramped.
This pillar here, was it something you couldn't remove?
No, there's a steel frame inside, so it couldn't be demolished.
I see. So by shifting the kitchen, you were able to secure space for the refrigerator on the right. By the way, which manufacturer is this kitchen from?
This is the Sierra S series from Lixil. The color is walnut.
And these are black-handled sliding drawers.
Yes. Since this is a rental property, we kept it simple and didn't install features like a dishwasher.
I see. Thank you. Is the flooring here vinyl tile?
Yes. We used vinyl tile flooring this time. Originally, the existing flooring had been installed over an older floor as an overlay. However, the floor of the kitchen area was actually lower. while the dining and adjacent rooms were higher. So there was a noticeable difference in floor height. Since we were converting everything into one large living space, we removed all the existing overlay flooring first, adjusted the floor height, and then reinstalled the vinyl tiles.
So that's how the floor was leveled.
Yes. And this section here, this was added during the renovation, because there were slight differences in wall height in certain areas as well.
So this was not here originally.
No. We added this afterward as a visual cover, and this was the only way to address it.
So there was a height difference between this wall and this one?
Yes. We were able to adjust most areas. But this wall continues all the way through, so we couldn't make it completely flat.
Why was there a step here in the first place?
Originally, this kitchen area had calcium silicate boards installed. Because of that, this section became slightly thicker, which caused the difference in height.
I see. So before the renovation, the step was clearly visible?
Yes, it was.
So in cases like that, you need to use this kind of wood.
Right. That's why we used wood here. Painted it to match the surrounding color, and finished it with an oil stain.
Got it. And there's a door here, which is the entrance to the living room. Was this door replaced?
No, all the doors were reused as is.
I see. So all the dark brown doors are original.
That's right. The frames were also kept with only partial repainting.
Got it. Thank you.
And as for the living room, around the window frames here, originally this was a Japanese sliding door, so there was a track in the floor. We filled that groove and painted it white.
So although it had been renovated into a Western-style room before, this part was left untouched at that time.
That's correct.
This section from the original Japanese-style room remained.
Also, the ceiling here is now completely flat. But since this was originally a Japanese-style room, the ceiling here used wood panels, similar to flooring materials. So it had a slightly different type of ceiling.
I see.
And over here, the kitchen side had cement boards, so the heights were all different. To unify everything, we removed the old ceiling on this side and adjusted all heights to match. This DK area already had an overlay finish, so we adjusted everything to match that level.
That makes sense. If the ceiling heights were uneven, it would really affect the look of such a nice, open living room.
Exactly. This room required a lot of careful fine-tuning, and that's where much of the effort went.
Thank you. You also added baseboards throughout the room.
Yes. Also here, originally the wall here dropped to about this height, and there was a half-width opening connecting to the adjacent room. This time, we closed it off with a wall to make the rooms completely separate. There was also a large built-in closet here, which we removed to create a more open space.
I see. So it didn't really need to be directly connected to the living room in the first place.
Exactly. And these two lights here, they are original standard bulb fixtures. But over here, we added 3 downlights this time.
I see. Mainly for the kitchen and refrigerator area.
Yes.
Without lighting near the refrigerator, this area would get very dark.
Right. At first, we planned only 2 lights, but because of the sidewall, it created shadows. So we decided to add 1 more.
I see. It's hard to visualize lighting before construction. But thinking through real-life use cases and planning lighting accordingly really makes a difference.
All right, next, let's take a look at the neighboring room. This is the hallway. And here's the former Japanese-style room. As we mentioned earlier in the living room, this area here used to be an opening that connected directly to the living space, which has now been closed off and turned into a wall. And from around this beam to the window side, This section functioned like an engawa, a traditional transitional space. And there was a threshold here as well.
So that area was finished with wood flooring? And this room itself originally had tatami mats.
Yes, but this section here was wood flooring. Also, this side was originally a decorative shelf here. The widths were about the same. And the other side was a traditional Japanese-style closet. For this renovation, we installed only a hanging rod for storage. Since this is a rental property, we initially considered adding a roll-up curtain. But after discussing it with the owner, we felt it would be better to let tenants choose based on their own preferences. So we intentionally left it open.
I see.
Also, the entire floor was leveled and vinyl floor tiles were installed throughout.
Thank you.
The ceiling was also redone in the same way. We added an overlay and finished it with wallpaper. All the surrounding areas were finished with paint.
So the door was kept as is?
Originally, this door was a Fusuma-style door, so the inside had a small pull-type knob, since it faced the Japanese-style room. So we finished the door with wallpaper. And because the room was converted into a Western-style room, we replaced the knob with a lever-style handle. Handles for the Japanese-style doors and standard doors have different depths. So we modified the whole and installed the new handle accordingly.
I see. Thank you.
Next, we'll take a look at the water areas.
So this is the entrance space.
Right. And there are 2 toilets in total in this unit. This one here is the toilet on the lower floor. For this toilet, it had already been replaced during the previous renovation, and it was still in good condition. So this time, we only did a professional cleaning and replaced the wall coverings and the cushioned flooring.
I see. Thank you. Was the door kept as is?
Yes, that's right. Next, let's look at the washroom and bathroom. Here, we first replaced the vanity unit and also replaced the washing machine pan. The original vanity was 75 centimeters wide, and this time we kept the same size, but replaced it with the Lixil Ofudo 750 model. We also replaced the cushioned flooring. As you can see, there was originally a beam here, and this side had a more traditional, older-style layout. The walls were tiled, and there was also a beam above the washing machine pan, which caused it to protrude slightly toward the front. This time, considering the placement of the water supply and electrical outlets for the washing machine, we removed the rear wall and the beam, built out the wall slightly, and repositioned everything so the washing machine pan would fit neatly.
I see.
And as for the ceiling part, it was originally finished with calcium silicate boards. We rebuilt it, finished it with wallpaper, and replaced the lighting with downlights. And here's the bathroom. Before the renovation, this was a traditional custom-built bathroom. The orientation of the bath is currently vertical, but originally the bathtub was positioned horizontally. The area that now has extra space here used to be part of the traditional bathroom, extending from this point all the way to here before the renovation. This time we shifted the bathroom layout forward and installed a 12/16 sized vertically oriented unit bath.
Is there a reason why you changed the orientation?
Yes, because it was a traditional bathroom, keeping the horizontal layout would not allow us to fit a 12/16 size unit bath.
I see.
The usable dimensions just didn't work. And since this is a family-type rental property, we really didn't want to make the bathroom too small. So we changed the orientation to make it work.
That makes sense. even in a rental property, if you're targeting families, you'd want at least a 12-16 size bath.
Exactly.
By the way, which manufacturer is this bathroom from?
This is the Lixels BW series. We added a walnut accent panel on one wall. The bathtub also has a reheating function.
Reheating is definitely important for families.
Yes. It's also equipped with a bathroom dryer. It includes both drying and heating functions.
I see.
Since traditional bathrooms usually have fairly large windows, we adjusted the opening size and installed a free-size window to suit the new unit. Next, I would like to introduce the room on the upper floor of the maisonette. Starting with the floor at the top of the stairs, this area originally had wooden flooring, and we have installed floor tiles over it. There are 2 rooms on this floor, so I'll start with the one at the back. This room was originally a Japanese-style room. There was a traditional closet here, which we dismantled, removed the middle shelf, and installed a hanging rod. Just like the room downstairs, we initially planned to add a roll-up curtain, but after discussing it with the owner, we decided to leave it open and let future tenants choose based on their preferences.
Since this is the top floor of the 3-story building, this side would be the exterior wall?
Yes, this area sits directly under the roof, so the ceiling has a slope. And around the window, since this was originally a Japanese-style room, there were shoji frames. We covered those with plywood and finished over them. This area here is slightly divided, because structurally it was a bit challenging. We built out the walls entirely and created new walls, but because of how everything connected, once the walls were furred out, the dimensions didn't align properly with the existing frame. So we had to add an additional piece of wood on the outside. And as a result, we installed trim on the exterior side to finish it cleanly. Also, since this is the top floor and directly under the roof, the ceiling here is slightly sloped as well. These kinds of small details were some of the more challenging aspects when furring out the walls for this room.
The brown trim around the ceiling was left as is?
Yes, we kept the existing ceiling trim. We also installed a white curtain rail here, mounted directly inside the window frame like this.
I see. Thank you.
Additionally, this room is only 6 tatami mats in size. And originally, this door was designed to open towards the hallway. However, this time we changed it so that the door opens inward. The reason that we changed it was because there is a door leading to the toilet and the balcony on the outside. And if this door opened outward, it would make movement in the hallway difficult. So that's why we decided to change the door to open inward. Though we originally wanted this door to open to the left.
So, is this door reused?
Yes, we intentionally reused it, but because of the hinges and how everything connects, if we had changed the swing direction the other way, the hinges would have ended up here. As you can see, the wall has already been furred out with drywall, and if the hinges were placed there, we wouldn't have been able to build the wall properly. So we had no choice but to install it this way. The recessed section here was created so the door can open and close without hitting the wall.
I see. This was really the only way to make it work. So originally, the plan was to keep the wall flat?
Yes, that was the plan. But if we had kept it flat, the door wouldn't open.
That's true.
So we adjusted everything to make it fit properly.
If the wall, frame, and door were all brand new, this would have been easier.
Exactly. If we had replaced everything, it would have been much simpler. But we wanted to reuse as much as possible, including the door frame, to keep costs down, while still maintaining a clean appearance. That's why we made these design adjustments. Also, there were originally outlets and a TV antenna here. These were existing. But since the door now opens this way, the usability wasn't ideal. So we added another TV antenna outlet over here. This lines up with the outlet in the room behind this one. So we rerouted the wiring and added an additional connection.
I see. So that recessed area actually serves a purpose.
That's right. We carefully coordinated with the carpenter for that part. Some of these parts were added later, so there are slight differences in color. But since this is a rental property, we prioritize cost efficiency. Where we could compromise, we did.
That makes sense. Since this is a rental property, it's not just about spending as much as possible. It's really about deciding where to focus your budget.
Exactly. Knowing where to save and where to invest is very important. Now, let's move on to the next room. This room was originally a Western-style room. The floor was wood flooring, and we installed floor tiles as an overlay. We also replaced the wooden baseboards. And around the windows and curtain box, we painted everything white. Since there was no built-in storage here, we installed adjustable shelving. We intentionally made it 3 tiers and added a hanging rod to the middle shelf, so clothes can be hung. We reduced the number of shelves on purpose to improve usability.
Was this side wall created during this renovation?
Yes, it was. Actually, initially it was planned to be a bit more to the right, closer to the entrance. But due to the location of switches, we adjusted it to this position. Also, the LAN cable connector was originally located around this height. Since it was too high and not very practical, we relocated it lower to improve usability. As for the accent wallpaper, it's the same as in the neighboring room. We used a blue accent wall on one side.
I see. Was the blue accent color chosen by the owner?
Yes, that's right. We proposed several wallpaper options, and the owner selected this one from those. In total, we presented 4 different patterns.
Thank you.
Next, let me show you the balcony.
This is quite a large balcony, isn't it?
That's right. If a family moves in, I think it would be very convenient.
Is barbecuing allowed here?
From the owner's perspective, it seems to be acceptable.
Having a balcony this large in a rental property is really nice.
This time, we carried out waterproofing on the floor here below. In addition, although it's a bit hard to see, we also repainted the surrounding metal parts, as well as the roof structure above. The upper roof area was also repainted during this renovation.
I see. Had the waterproofing already exceeded its service life?
Yes, it hadn't been done for more than 10 years, so the owner asked us to take care of it this time.
Got it. Thank you.
Now this is the entrance. For the entryway, we installed floor tiles over the existing surface. The threshold is a renovation-style entrance frame by Sangetsu. And the entry floor area is also finished with floor tiles. These floor tiles are from Kawashima Selcon. As for the shoe cabinet, There used to be a waist-high cabinet extending to about this area, but it was quite old, so we replaced it. This time we installed a Panasonic Veritas unit, and the color is walnut. It is a tall type cabinet with an 80 centimeter width, making efficient use of the available space. This section of the exterior wall is partially finished with siding. And this time we replaced all of the sealant joints around that siding. In addition, we repainted the metal elements, such as the gate here, the steel components above, and many of the metal parts around the balconies on the rear side of the building. Areas like this were all repainted as well, including some sections further inside.
So, why is only this part of the exterior wall finished with siding?
According to the owner, during the 2011 earthquake, a significant crack developed in this area. It was repaired at the time, and siding was added afterward as a way to cover and protect the repaired section.
So was the waterproofing around the repaired area failing?
The crack itself was more toward the center.
So the sealant around the newer siding had deteriorated?
Yes, that's right. There were quite a few gaps, allowing water to get in directly. So we recommended redoing the ceiling.
I see. Did you need scaffolding to replace the sealant?
Yes, the building is fairly tall, so we installed scaffolding. While it was up, we also repainted the surrounding metal components at the same time.
I see. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
May I ask about the total renovation cost this time?
Sure. This time we carried out the interior renovation, rooftop waterproofing, painting of the metal parts, and the ceiling work all together. And the total cost came to 6.58 million yen, including tax.
Does that amount include the scaffolding costs you mentioned earlier?
Yes, it does. Everything is included.
Thank you. I heard briefly earlier, but this property is now also being managed by your Nerima branch, correct?
Yes, we have newly signed a property management contract as well.
It's only been a few days since the renovation was completed. But how has the inquiry situation been so far?
Since the layout has changed significantly compared to before, thankfully we've been receiving quite a lot of viewing reservations.
By the way, has the rent increased this time as a result of this renovation?
Actually, this property was not previously managed by us. But from what we were told, the rent used to be 180,000 yen. After the renovation, it is now being listed at 220,000 yen.
So you started marketing it with a 40,000 yen increase in rent?
Yes, that's right. If it gets leased, the rent will be 40,000 yen higher.
Got it. Taking all of that into account, one of the strengths of the Nerima branch is that you can handle not only construction but also rental management.
Yes, exactly.
Therefore, I would like to encourage you to feel free to inquire about rental apartments and condominiums in this area. Also, since the Nerima branch has recently relocated to a new office, we filmed another video covering that behind the scenes. So we'd appreciate it if you could check it out as well.
Yes, please.
Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you.
Thank you for watching today. At IMECHEN, we offer 2 nationwide renovation plans: a flat-rate renovation service for rental properties called IMECHEN, and another service for pre-owned homes called IMECHEN Next. You can download the brochures for both IMECHEN and IMECHEN Next from our official websites. If you haven't gotten yours yet, please make sure to check them out. We're also currently holding our in-person training program, the School of Renovation. It's a 3-day course where you can learn the fundamentals of renovation and the basics of rental property sales. This program is designed especially for those working in renovation companies. So if you're interested, please take a look at the link in the description below for more details.